If you're still living that elementary school cafeteria lunch life with your jars of Skippy and Jif in the cabinet solely because natural peanut butter is such a pain to deal with, we've got good news for you. Natural peanut butter doesn't have to be such a pain. It just turns out that you've been storing it wrong your whole life. And you're not the only one. Search natural peanut butter on Twitter and you'll see that there's a legion of natural peanut butter haters, all lamenting its rock-hard consistency. One user complained, "No thank you, all natural peanut butter. I like to eat my PB out of the jar with a spoon versus with a pickaxe and covered in 2 inches of oil." Another joked, "I'm sorry I was 3 hours late for work, but I had to stir a jar of natural peanut butter." But there's only one way to store a jar of natural peanut butter, you say, and that's in the refrigerator, where it separates into 2 distinct layers of oil and nut butter and hardens into a consistency that can only be described as peanutty cement. Good luck trying to mix it up once it's chilled. Natural peanut butter has been known to break more than one stirring utensil in its day. And even if you're semi-successful in your stirring endeavors, you're bound to end up with a counter full of peanut oil. So what's the trick? It's so simple, you'll kick yourself for not doing it sooner. Store that jar of natural peanut butter upside down and keep it in the pantry. As ITV's Steve Wilson demonstrates, by storing the jar upside down, the oil will work its way from the top, which is now the bottom, and end up at the jar's bottom, which is now the top. Basically, when you're ready to make a sandwich, flipping the jar right side up means you'll have mixed, spreadable peanut butter at the ready, because the oil has been making its way to the opposite end.
And then when you're done, just pop the lid back on, turn it upside down. It's a really straightforward thing to do.
As Lifehacker points out though, the key to this hack's success is using the peanut butter often. If you don't keep the oil on the move, you'll still end up with distinct layers of oil and butter, whether it's upside down or not. So each time the oil settles on one end, flip it back to restart its journey. If you just plumb forgot to turn your jar upside down and find yourself in dire need of a PB&J, one seasoned natural peanut butter eater on the foodie question and answer site Seasoned Advice has a smart tip. Using a butter knife, cut hashtag shapes in the peanut butter over and over again. The idea is that gravity will naturally take the oil down if you just give it a little room. And as you cut and stab at the solid chunks of peanut butter, the oil naturally mixes. At the very end, you can do a couple of quick stirring motions, but by now the oil and peanut butter should be mostly mixed. There is one caveat here when it comes to refrigeration though. If you're not going to polish off that jar of natural peanut butter within a month, it needs to be stored in the fridge to prevent it from going rancid. In the fridge, it will last for about 6 months. As for those jars of Skippy and Jif you're hanging onto in case the natural peanut butter storage hack doesn't actually work, you might think you can leave them hanging in your pantry for years on end, but we've got bad news for you on that front. Conventional peanut butter doesn't last forever either. You may not need to store it upside down, but once it's opened, you've really only got about 4 months to finish it before the quality starts to degrade. And if you see a jar of conventional peanut butter start to separate, that's a surefire way to tell it's on the way out. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite food hacks are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.